Was it a dragon? No, it's John Keeshan. No. Was it a giant bomb? No, it's John Keeshan. No. Hey. Look out, what's behind you? It's John Keeshan. Hey. You think that he can find you? Oh no! It's John Keeshan! Was it a powerful spell? No, it's John Keeshan. The Legion come from hell. No, it's John Keeshan.
I'm trying another recording. So this giant statue of this man in the armor raising the front of the area is that's Anduin Lothar, and he's the legendary human paladin and hero. He was known as the Lion of Azeroth. And let's see, what about it? His sword, it's pointed towards the Blackrock Mountain, where the Horde stronghold is. In the area, and it's believed that this statue was made around the place where he died. He had fought in the First and Second Wars trying to fight against the orcs, and he died in the Siege of the Blackrock Spire. So that's who this statue is the Anduin Lothar, famous human hero and paladin. It's fine. We'll just fix it in a little while. So basically, that was Lothar. I mean, he is a legend on the human side. Anyways, the game is largely stemmed from the original Warcraft, orcs versus humans. So the zone is an important lore zone for those reasons. But there's also this NPC, which brings up a couple different funny things to me. There's like certain characters that are just, even in fantastical worlds where everything's mythical and crazy, like there's so many amazing over-the-top characters that are just ridiculous. One of them is this human called John Keeshan, and he's basically like the fantasy human version of like Rambo or something. I guess you could say kind of like Rambo, because he's an over-the-top, super powerful, like lone wolf type warrior, grizzled alliance warrior kind of guy. And he actually participated, according to lore, in all three wars, the first, second, and third war. And he served in the Bravo Company. he did 248 consecutive tours of duty. Like he basically started fighting and just didn't stop. He's a relentless warrior, and also has quest lines. Like first quest lines in the game. That's one of the ones I was on while I recorded some of this video, and it leads me to so many hilarious things. In fact, like he's actually what do you want to call it? Chastised because he's been so brutal throughout the ages. They started giving him like names like baby orc killer and stuff like that, because during different war campaigns they were wiping out entire groups, kind of like the player does. I don't think we actually attacked young ones in the game, but hang on just a minute here. So it's just over the top, like the depth of some of the Warcraft storylines. And you know, some of the original storylines had that darker type of edge to them, where, I mean, I remember when I first played the stuff with the Death Knights. I can't remember when that came out. I'll have to mess around with that later. But those Death Knights, man, like that storyline was crazy at the beginning about like how they were killing people, or like forcing some of them to be Death Knights or whatever. And they're like, well, you need to go kill these like civilians. I'm like, dude, I don't kill civilians. Like, this is crazy. I had some dark stuff in the game. For such a cartoony atmosphere. I think it's lightened up a lot over the years with I think some people really take issue with it, to be honest with you, because some of the darker things is some of the more engaging content, to be sure. Anyways, this Keeshan is a great example of this darker edge to some of the Alliance side stuff. He's like a hardcore, grizzled, you know, lone wolf, kind of just super tough guy. Well, interestingly, it leads me to other like just stupid gameplay discussion too, because you'll notice if you play with him in the Burnt Steppes, at least like in the, man, time travel stuff really bothers with my mind. But anyways, I'm in the Lich King one. I don't know if that matters, like, as far as what, you know, what you're going to see. I don't know if you need the time walk to this one to do the same quest. I'm pretty sure he shows up in all the past ones, like, depending on how tall it looks. They need to do a guide that's like, basically explain some of this stuff to our old stupid people. Anyway. So moving on, John Keeshan. I get this quest and I'm running around with him, and I've noticed some incredible things about him. About in this game, like especially the older quests, man. A lot of times, like you've got like the NPC is gonna walk really slow to like from one point to another. If you go too far, the NPC is gonna like snap back to a previous area, and you got to go back and get close to him again, fight next to them, keep them alive, go to the next spot, things like that. Well, John Keeshan isn't like that, man. Like he's the complete boss. Like he'll follow you around, and then he will basically just he'll be also in most of the quests in the game too, a lot of the NPCs that are doing actions like engaged in a fight or something, they'll do super little damage to each other, and then the player walks up and starts socking them, you know, just beating them down. John Keeshan, this NPC, John Keeshan, will totally dispatch enemies. Like, he's actually pretty good. He'll pop around, he'll fight stuff. And so, yeah, like, he actually does, like, kill the orcs and stuff. Like, he's pretty into it. Whereas, like, a lot of them are, like, kind of like, I don't know what you call it. Like, they're doing the show version of sword fighting where they walk up to each other and they're like, I hit your sword, you hit my sword. I hit your sword, you hit my sword. And it's like a teeny bit of damage here and there. And then like a player has to come up and, you know, finish the fight or whatever. Well, John Keeshan is more like a bizarre like AI party member. He just like pops up and deals with business. He like hacks them down. Like he's more into it than I am, I think. To be honest with you, he might be more deadly than I am at some points. To be honest. So moving on from that kind of thing, there's all these weird, like, break a meta gameplay type efficiency things that happen that are like, they're not immersion breaking. I think they're dealt with smartly in the game, but it still leads to hilarious conversations. Like, for example, I get on my mount and I fly away. John Keeshan disappears. Like, he instantly is able to, I don't know, is he technically a rogue? I'm not sure. I know he's a soldier, like, special ops dude for the Alliance, but I mean, I guess lore-wise, he's just like stealthing or cloaking or something. Well, once I fly, like, he disappears, man. Like, he's gone. As soon as I land anywhere, he's there. I mean, this guy's on top of the game. I mean, that's something you could say about him. He's definitely on top of the game. Now, I usually actually play on the Horde. Now, most of my favorite characters are actually trolls. I really like trolls. We'll get around to talk about trolls later, but, it's a little tough being on the Horde with John Keeshan floating around out there. You never know when he's going to pop up and, he might just, like, pop up and take care of you. Maybe going to the Shadowlands or whatever, how that works. That's still, maybe we could talk about that later, too. That's a weird whole, like, thing that it is. So then, I guess the main discussion, now that I've talked about some of the more, the other note about those funny, like, gameplay, like, meta situations, it takes me back to a memory when I first started playing the game and having discussions with people in my life. When she first started playing, she pointed out some classic, kind of like wild joke stuff that I don't think she realized that it was like classic jokes that people were making. And it was so funny to me, I was cracking up because she starts pointing out, well, wait a minute. I'm supposed to get, like, paws from these wolves, but you've got 4 paws. I see them. How come I can't get any of its paw? And it's just really funny, like, the way drops work. It's like, why does this wolf have a dagger, like, in its fur? Like, this makes no sense. Oh my gosh. All this type of thing. And I can't remember what the actual example was. I really can't. But I just remember this kind of trope and joke that you made a lot about, like, you got the same ones, like, how on earth am I possibly fitting all these things in my backpack? My backpack is, like, crazy. Now, granted, you have the whole battle with inventory and having to get bags. I remember that being a big deal back in the day, trying to get the bags. The actual purpose of this video, though, this thing was to talk about the single button assistant. Now, what's funny is I heard a controversy on the side. I heard people say, oh, I really like it. Other people say, I don't like it because it simplifies the game too much. What's funny is, at least on my main character and a few others too, the game has had a macro system since the beginning, basically. I don't know if it started in the beginning. I want to say it's been around most of the time that I played. It may have been there from the beginning. Somebody could tell me. But basically, I would just build macros that essentially do the same thing as this single button assistant. So, of course, the macros, continuing the discussion, and I apologize, I'm in and out. I got a lot to do. So I'm basically back and forth. I just these things together if I have to. I can't record. I don't even get 10 minutes at one time to record a lot of times. So, what was it? Yeah, so the macros themselves, they could be a lot more expensive. You could pair things together that this feature doesn't do anyway. And I guess the sentiment from people who don't like it is, why are you simplifying the game? You got to have some kind of skill with combat or rotation. People need to do rotation, something like that. But really, I mean, this game has never, I wouldn't say this game has ever been like too skill-based. I mean, there's some aspect of it in PvP. It's more of a fantasy playground, like Dean Parts type experience in my view. Even the PvP having, one of the good things about it, at least from the beginning. Now I don't know, I haven't done it in a while. Maybe it's too balanced again now, but in the beginning, what made it fun and interesting was some of the imbalance in the game. And I guess you could say there was a bit of skill just in trying to pick your fights or positioning it in a sense. But it's an RPG to people. It's not a high skill cap game in the first place. So I'm actually glad they put this single button assistant in the game because it saved me time from having to go back and mess with the macro stuff, because it was doing mainly what I was doing, maybe not tailored the way I've had them. But you'll find if you mess with it, it makes combat pretty enjoyable. I just put it as number 1 on my bar, and then I end up with full bars anyway, because it only contains certain types of attacks. So you're gonna have like a basic way to attack, you know, your basic encounter by using it, but you know, anything that starts challenging you, it turns into a situation where there's types of skills you're probably going to need to use on your bar in addition to that thing. I mean, it's just a basic accessibility feature, I guess. I like it. Controversial to some people, but I like the feature. I just wanted to share my views on it because it saves me time from doing the same thing through macros anyway. So there you go. Also, I think accessibility, anything that increases accessibility is good. And I hear this about Linux a lot too. People say, you know, why are they spending so much time on this feature or that, you know, to make this more accessible or that? But, you know, gatekeeping about complexity is not really something that makes sense. Making things easier for the average person just makes everything more enjoyable and better for most people, like least common denominator for most people. So I like the fact that it's optional. I'm glad that like players who want to have their rotation manual and can do things in a different order they'd like. That there's no requirement to use the single button assistant, but I do find it to actually be a good feature. That's just my opinion. I don't have too much of a stake in it as far as arguing with people, but you know, a lot of us older people anyway, we're already doing macros and stuff like that. Now I don't use add-ons, so I don't have any bad feelings about it. I heard they're removing a bunch of add-ons in the game. I don't have any feelings about that because I've never used them. So that's a controversy that skips me altogether. Anyways, just wanted to share some thoughts on that. Well, I was rambling about enjoying the burning steps just a bit longer. But yeah, you need to relax sometime. If you need to do that, and you haven't done the Burning Steps quest lines, it's pretty interesting. It's broken down into basically some phases. It's a pretty cool place. I think a lot of people dislike going back to zones like Burning Steps. I read a thing one time saying that people didn't like the Hellfire Peninsula in the Burning Crusade just because it's so just like the scenery is just red and bland like a desert. And I get that. That's the extent of it, and I can understand. But I will just say that it seems to work. The theme is great for the mode of the story it's telling, and I like the dirty conflict. You know, we've got the humans slamming up against all these bizarre occultists trying to come through and attack the land. It's pretty cool. Anyways, that was just my ramble for today about the single button assistant, because you get weird gatekeeping around complexity. You know, people will be like, well, you know, you don't really use Linux unless you have to use the difficult versions, you know. If you're using Fedora, which is one of the ones I favor, or something like Ubuntu, then you're not a real Linux user because you're doing it on easy mode. Yeah, you're not a real Warcraft player because you use the single button assistant. You know, this kind of like idea. It's like, man, what are you trying to prove, dude? You're talking about a nerdy thing for entertainment in the first place. It's totally optional. It's just interesting to me how people get amped up on these subjects. Anyways, old man Bowl signing out.
Was it a dragon? No, it's John Keeshan. Was it a giant bomb? No, it's John Keeshan. Look out! What's behind you? It's John Keeshan. You think that he can't find you? Oh no! It's John Keeshan. Is it the Legion come from hell? No, it's John Keeshan. Look out! What's behind?